it's not only starting, but how healthy he is. I mean, if he's going at 75, 80%, I don't think that'll be enough. They need Roy Green close to 100%.
I think those nods were nods of hope. Now let's go back to Brent Musburger.
All right.
Speaking of which, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. That's the way the Eastern Division stands right now. Dallas at 8-4, tied with the Giants. Then Washington at 7-5, Philadelphia 6-6, and the Cardinals, disappointing and surprising to a lot of people, at 4-8. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall, and again, happy Thanksgiving. The Cowboys' success this year in every game has been turnovers. You talk about situations, substitutions, and computers. But turnovers have been the answer. When they give it away more than they take it away, they lose. When they take it away more than they give it away, they win. With me, of course, is the coach, John Madden, our CBS football analyst, superb. And, John, how do they expect to accomplish those takeaway situations?
Well, the biggest thing that they do is that 4-0 defense that the Cowboys use. You know, that's one where they have 4 defensive linemen, no linebackers, and 7 defensive backs. Now, they've been doing that for a number of years, but when they first started doing it, they would take those 7 defensive backs and they'd always cover with them. You know, they'd double here, double there, and so on. And now lately, they've been going on what they call a max blitz. Instead of covering, they're putting up 4 of them, and they're bringing a total of 8. Now, you see what the problem that brings. See, here's 1 here, 2, 3, 4. So that gives, in addition to the 4 defensive linemen, that gives them 8. They bring from the outside, and boom, 2 up the middle. Now, you can see that the offense only has 7 guys to block that 8. So there's always going to be a free one. In this case, it's Dennis Thurman. Now, what the contest is here, can Lomax get rid of the ball before Thurman hits him? Because he's the free guy. They leave 1 for the quarterback. Now, sometimes he won't get rid of it. Sometimes he'll have to throw it before he's ready to. Then the Cowboys win. Now, the other thing, here we go again. It's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have the 4 defensive linemen bringing the 8 again. Now, here's Roy Green. If we get the ball to a healthy Roy Green before they get there, that can be trouble for the Cowboys. So you see what happens. You see him coming here again. They're going to come in the blitz, 2 up the middle, 2 from the outside, a total of 8 coming, only 7 blockers. Now as we stop it here, here's the free guy here. Now if he can get the ball right there, if he can get the ball off before he gets there, look what they can do. We see Roy Green there. Now that was a year ago. That's a healthy Roy Green. A year ago, I thought he was the best offensive player in the NFL because he was a one guy that could make things like that happen. Remember, when they bring 8, they only have 3 left back there to tackle guys like this guy.
And Roy Green, his health somewhat in doubt. In fact, when we started today's game, it wasn't certain whether he'd even be able to start. Now we hear he will start. The Cardinals have won the toss. Raphael Septien will kick off for Dallas. Clyde Duncan is the man in the middle, back for the Cardinals. Ron Wolfley and Leonard Smith back there with him. Septien set to go with it. Thanksgiving Day underway. Septien, and it will be Ron Wolfley, who will probably start at running back. Everson Walls knocked him out of bounds along with Bill Bates. Let's check the lineups. First of all, for the Cardinals, the offensive backs and receivers. Lomax, Stump Mitchell, the runner, along with Randy Love, although we are told Wolfley will start. Roy Green and Pat Tilley, the wide receivers, and Green is starting. Up front, it's Sharp, Dawson, Clark, Bostic, Lance Smith at right tackle, and Doug Marsh is the tight end. They go with 3 wide receivers. Pat Tilley, Stump Mitchell is the lone setback, and J.T. Smith is the other. This is Mitchell, averaging over 5 yards a carry, and he gets about 5 on that one before John Dutton breaks him down. On defense, Ed Jones, John Dutton, Randy White, and Jim Jeffcoat up front. The linebackers Hegman and Rohr on the outside, and Eugene Lockhart in the middle. Secondary, Walls and Fellows the corners, Clinkscale and Downs the safeties. Second down, about 4. Mitchell now are the two runners. Green is wide right. Tilley is wide left. Marsh comes in motion. Mitchell, right side, about a yard shy of the first down before the middle linebacker Eugene Lockhart comes out and makes the hit.
Yeah, the Cardinals have had a very disappointing season this year, and one guy who seems to be up is this guy, Mitchell, Stump Mitchell. Talking to him last night, he's a bright-eyed guy who was ready to play. You know, I really felt that if there's anyone that is down on this team, I'll guarantee you one guy, it's not. It's this guy, number 30, Stump
He's
Mitchell.
just so happy to have a chance to play full-time. O.J. Anderson did not make the trip, so the load will be shouldered by the Stump. Marsh is the move man. Here's Mitchell. Up quickly to Cowboys. Not enough for a first down. The ball's on the ground. Fumble, and the Cowboys have it. Eugene Lockhart made the hit and came up with the ball. The safety men up in a hurry, as they always are.
Tell you one thing, the Cardinals are starting off running here against this flex defense. When they have the three linebackers in there, it is a tough defense to run against. Michael Downs, a free safety, read that all the way, and he was up in the backfield before Stump Mitchell got to the line of scrimmage.
Cowboys in a hurry, up quickly. 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 33. Dorsett and Newsom, the backs, and White goes right to work to throw. He does, has Cosbie. Spectacular catch by Doug Cosbie.
See if we can watch that thing and how Cosbie, again, he gets good pass protection. Cosby's going to come all the way across. Danny White sees him here, gives him the ball over to this side. But to do that, to bring that tight end all the way across like that, he has to have good time. You see the protection he gets. Cosbie in there behind those linebackers made a heck of a one-handed catch.
First down, Cowboys at the Cardinal 12. That's Newsom moving. Cardinals show blitz. They give it to Dorsett. He skips over the right side, gets back to the line of scrimmage before Nico Noga knocks him down. No gain on that play. The Cowboy offense has Danny White at quarterback, Tony Dorsett and Timmy Newsom in the backfield, and Tony Hill and Mike Renfro, the two runners, the two wide receivers, beg your pardon. Up front, it's Chris Schultz at left tackle. That's a permanent move now. Titans are Rafferty, Peterson, Cooper, and Doug Cosbie, the tight end. Hill is split wide to the left. Renfro to the right. 2nd and 10. Dorsett outside and down, a loss of about 4. Lonnie Young was the Cardinal defender back there quickly.
You know, the Cardinals use what we call an under defense. They are over-shifted to the weak side. On that play, the Cowboys tried to run right into it, and they didn't gain anything.
Where would you run?
Well, I think you know, you start off and you want to run away from the under, but then to keep it honest, you want to run towards it. Now, I like to run at it with the counter play. Start one way and then come back at it.
Here's that defense again. On the left side, every man is covered. On the other side, they're not. That's the reason they call it the under and the over. Mike Renfro, I believe, moved early. It's been a frustrating year.
Start on the offensive team.
Bob Frederick is the referee.
Let's take a look at this under defense. See, here's one man over the center, 2, 3. Then you get this linebacker here. Now that gives him 4 on 1, 2, 3. See, so that's the overload that they have to this side. That's called the under defense. If you shift it to the other side, to the strong side, of course, that would be the over defense.
It would seem so logical that you attack it to the other side, away from that load. But that's not as easy as it sounds. Cosbie is lined up in the slot this time as White retreats to pass, has time. Has Cosbie, has a touchdown, but there's a flag on the play. Jeff Griffin, Cosbie couldn't hang on, The ball was there, but the flag was dropped before it ever arrived.
Now that can't be pass interference. It has to be holding, which it is, because the flag was dropped at about the 10-yard line, and of course the ball was thrown into the end zone.
That should make it 1st and goal, Dallas. It has to be whoever was covering Cosbie, I think Jeff Griffin.
You know, Cosbie has some offensive fouls, but he also draws a lot of defensive calls on holding and pass interference. When you get a guy that
Defensive
big.
holding, number 35, first down.
It was Jeff Griffin. You can see Doug Cosbie, number 84, in the middle of the screen. See right there, Griffin hits him. That was okay. Then he held him with the right arm, so Cosbie couldn't get away. Now, Cosbie, still got away and still beat him in the end zone.
I think the reason for that is he is so big, 6'6". It's first down, not 1st and goal. They're back at about the 17. You heard White say, Newsom, get over there, get out. Get in the game. White drops the ball and just drops on it right there.
Oh, and that upsets a coach because he knows that something is out of sync in there. As you said, Danny White was given directions. It looked like he forgot to get his hands under there and get the ball. Timmy Newsom was on the wrong side. Then he got him on the right side. Then he didn't like where he got him, so he put him out farther.
Then he brought it back, and then he dropped the ball. That'll make it 2nd and about 11 back at the 18-yard line. Newsom moved correctly that time, and White gets the ball to Renfro, and this time it is a touchdown.
Complete to Mike.
18 yards from Danny White to Mike Renfro. It's another happy Thanksgiving Day in Dallas for the Cowboys, not for Jim Hanavan. Raphael Septien will try for the extra point with Hogaboom holding. 7-0 Cowboys. 9:46 remaining first quarter.
You know, on this, we can see that the Newsom goes in motion. That takes the defensive back out of there. Renfro runs a slant for the touchdown.
7-0 Cowboys. Happy Thanksgiving. Dallas 7, St. Louis nothing with 9:46 left first quarter. Cowboys got the turnover again and took advantage of it. Eugene Lockhart recovered the fumble, and Danny White threw the touchdown pass. Here is Septien to kick off. Off the side of his foot.
Boy, that was a funny-looking kick, wasn't it?
Looked like no try almost.
Let's look at the touchdown again. We'll see what happened here. Newsom goes right. He comes in motion. That brings the strong safety up to bump here, and it opens a hole right in here. And Mike Renfro comes up, slants right in here between the corner and the safety. See the effect of motion. Now the motion man comes. That brings the strong safety up. Boom there. Now right in there, Renfro goes right in that hole that he vacated. And boom, Danny White hits him.
There is Mike Renfro over on the sideline. A guy who gets, I guess, 110% out of his ability, wouldn't you say?
Well, that's right. You know, Tom Landry calls him just a real pro. He said whatever you ask him to do, Renfro will do. Last week, I know we saw the films in their game against Philadelphia, and he made some big blocks as a wide receiver.
And sometimes those wide receivers are more proud of the blocks than they are of the touchdown catches. Clyde Duncan is number 86 for the Cardinals, and he'll have a chance to handle this one at about his own 13. them to about the 28 before they're down in a mass. Led by Steve Diassi, the Cowboys covered well. Dallas 7, St. Louis nothing. Roy Green so far in 1985.
Now, of course, he's only caught 32 passes, and that's, again, because of the injuries. The toe injury first, then the ankle injury. And, you know, there's two problems with that. One, he hasn't been able to play in some games, but the other thing, he hasn't practiced at all. And I think, obviously, that hurts Roy Green, but it also hurts Neil Lomax.
This is Doug Marsh in motion. Lomax back to throw. And he has Pat Tilley for a Cardinal first down before Michael Downs brings him down.
You know, one of the reasons that you want Roy Green in there is exactly this play here. Pat Tilley is going to come underneath in the middle. Roy Green runs deep. That takes the Dallas Cowboy defenders deep with him, you see. Then that opens up that hole for Tilley. Watch what Roy Green does. See, he's the outside receiver. He's just sprinting up the field. Now watch how he draws a crowd. You see, he drives that defense deep, then you can get underneath it.
Green and Tilley this time both split wide to the left. Now here comes Tilley in motion back this way. Lomax is going to go to him again. Tilley has it out of bounds at about the Cowboy 47. Everson Walls was the defender.
I think this is what Neil Lomax needs, is a little confidence here. You know, he really hasn't had a lot of confidence, and that's a problem that he has as we watch Tilley come in motion. I'll tell you, that's, you know, he's only 5'10", but he jumped, and right there, when the ball got there, he was about 6'4".
10 years he's been doing that. Pat Tilley. Playing in those scuba gloves today, 2nd and 5. Tilley and Green both split wide to the left. Now here comes Green in motion this time. Pitches back to Mitchell. Mitchell out of the grasp of Michael Downs, gets close to a first down. John Dutton finally made sure he was down.
You know, that's one thing those Cowboy safeties do when they're not blitzing. That's the thing that Jim Hannafin was concerned about, is Michael Downs and Dexter Clinkscale. The minute they see run flow to their side, crap, they're right up in there in the backfield. And they're hard to get blocked because you can't assign anyone to them because you don't have enough guys. So you try and fool them somewhere along the way with play pass.
3rd and 2 at the Dallas 44. Mitchell. Another Cardinal first down before Eugene Lockhart, the middle linebacker, and Michael Downs get him down. Coach Landry's gone to the long coat.
Well, he got that. He goes to that from Thanksgiving on. He goes to the long coat, or maybe the week before Thanksgiving, and then the rest of the year he'll wear the long coat.
Where's his clipboard? He usually got a bunch of notes in his hand.
I think he has a guy holding it now. See, when they're on defense, he has someone hold it. Then when they get the ball, I think they hand it back to him. You coach that long, you can have stuff. You don't have to hold the plays during defense.
That was Green in motion. The Cowboys come on a blitz. They get it out to Green. And Green hammers down inside the Dallas 30. Everson Walls knocked him out of bounds.
You know, this is the thing that we were talking about, Pat, where they're bringing 8 here. They're going to bring the linebacker here. That gives them 3. 1, 2, 3. Then Michael Downs also comes to give him 8. Watch it. 3 linebackers come. There's Downs right there. That gives them 8. But Lomax was able to get the ball off before Downs got there. And Downs was a free guy.
The Cardinals blocked that by designating Mitchell to pick up what they call the MDM, the most dangerous man. This is Ron Wolfley with the football over the left side. Ed Jones made the stop along with Randy White. The rest of it, after they get, if they do get the most dangerous man blocked, is up to Lomax himself.
That's the tough part. You know, that most dangerous man rule. If I were Lomax, I would always think the MDM is the guy they don't block.
Right.
Because Stump Mitchell, the running back, has to take the MDM, and it's usually an inside rusher, and the outside rusher is usually the free guy. If I were Lomax, that'd be the most dangerous to me.
Green and Tilley are both split wide to the right. Lomax back to throw, looking left and throwing left. Intended for Marsh, incomplete. Ball bounced up in the air and nobody got close to it. Dexter Clinkscale made the hit.
You know, one thing I think that was important is probably Lomax getting off to a pretty good start. And we see there, he's throwing the ball well. I mean, he threw it right in there to Marsh. He has to catch that ball. Again, his hands were too close to his body, so it bounced off his shoulder pad.
3rd and 7. Lomax is 3 out of 4. Ernest Gray now in the game as the Cardinals go with 4 wide receivers that get it down the middle of Green. Green taken down by Victor Scott, but enough for a St. Louis first down, and they can move it.
And again, we see that all-out blitz. We see him coming here, only one in the middle, and the only reason that is because there's 4 wide receivers. So they're coming here, they're bringing 7 on this play, but Lomax is able to get rid of the ball. You see, they got him coming from the outside. They're able to get him all blocked except the middle one, who was Bill Bates. But he got rid of the ball before Bates could get there.
Roy Green caught the pass. Another Cardinal first down. First down at the Dallas 13. Wolfley over the left side, hammers down inside the 10 to about the 8 before Jeff Rohr trips him up, number 50.
You know, sometimes it's an advantage, Pat, for a head coach like Jim Hannafin, who's taken a lot of heat this year, and the quarterback, Neil Lomax, who's also taken a lot of heat. Sometimes it's good to have that short week, because as Hannafin says, you don't have a long time to think about that last loss that was so embarrassing. The other thing is playing away isn't bad.
2nd and 6. Marsh in motion. This is Mitchell, and he hammers down to about the 1. Randy White kept him from scoring. He was the last man. It should be 1st and goal or close to it.
The right side of that offensive line, Joe Bostic and Lance Smith, the rookie, did a pretty good job because there was a pretty big hole over on that right side. They all fired out, and they got good movement on that Cowboy defense.
1st and goal, the ball is at the 2. Mitchell got enough. Cowboys leading 7-0 with 4:25 left to play first quarter. 2 tight ends now. LaFleur is in for St. Louis. They give to Mitchell, and he hammers over the top. The official on the far side says touchdown, and yes, it is. Steve Diassi made the hit on Mitchell, but Stump jumped high over the top and got into the end zone. Or at least got the ball there.
You'll see Diassi coming in there. He's going to jump the same time Stump does. You see 55 jumping there. He got a little late start, and by the time he got his jump at the apex, Stump Mitchell was in. That's
all
what
right.
The coach says. Yeah,
all right.
Say. Hey, all right.
Bojovic for the extra point. Holding. And the score is tied at 7. However, there's a penalty flag down.
I think that's going to be against the Cowboys, Pat, for being offsides or in the neutral zone or one of those things they call. It'll go on the kickoff.
Defense, number 27 was offside. The point was good. Will be carried over to the following kickoff.
Ron Fellows was offside. Tom Landry has his team now tied at 7. 7 apiece between the Cowboys and the Cardinals with 4:16 left to play first quarter. Stump Mitchell just scored his 6th touchdown of the season. That was an interesting story you were telling last night about the best football player in the country coming out of high school when he came out.
I was on a train, yeah, and an attendant was telling me the best player coming out of college. I said, George Rogers, the best running back. He said, no. He said, it's a guy named Stump Mitchell. I said, Stump Mitchell? I said, where's that? They said, at the Citadel. I said, I never heard of him. I said, how do you know about him? And the guy said, my son's his coach.
Let's go back and look at Stump Mitchell's touchdown then.
I'll tell you, the big block. Here's Steve Diassi. Now he's going to he's going to want to jump at the same time Stump is, But watch the job that Randy Clark gets out here, fires out on him, meets him so that he can't jump before that. Then after he gets off the block, it's too late. Watch Clark fire out, boom, right there. See, now, by the time he gets off, Stump is into the end zone, or the ball is into the end zone, breaking the plane.
It's very close.
See here, he can take off. Had Clark not stopped Diassi would have met him about 2 yards back. But that's where the ball is. All the ball has to do is break the plane of that line.
Mitchell has 7 carries for 22 yards and the touchdown. Boyevich about to kick off for the Cardinals. And he has different color shoes. The jersey out. What else?
Gloves on.
James Jones back at the 5 for the Cowboys. Replacing the injured Robert Levette as the kickoff returner gets just outside the 20. Score tied at 7 with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, we were talking about the Cardinals earlier, and you know how it's been such a disappointing year. As Stump Mitchell was saying last night, he says, we don't have anything to lose. He said, we can just go out and play free and easy. We've already lost everything. But I think the thing that helped was that drive and getting a little confidence for today.
First down, Cowboys. Dorsett remains the lone runner as Newsom flanks out to the right. Hill and Renfro both are lined up to the left, and here comes Dorsett. And he has a blocker. Out to about the 27. Bob Harris, number 50, over to make the stop after a gain of 6 by Dorsett.
I think there was a little chess game going on that play. The Cardinals shifted from an under to an over defense. And I think Danny White audibilized from a strong side play to a weak side play.
Renfro and Hill again split wide to the left. This time Renfro's on the outside. Now they swap places. Cardinals on a blitz. Cowboys pick it up. Intended for Newsom. He wasn't ready. But I don't think you can blame that on Timmy Newsom. He never had a chance to look back.
I think that Danny White was distracted by the blitz. The middle linebacker, E.J. Jr., came right up the middle. He was picked up by Kurt Peterson, but it looked like Danny White maybe threw that ball a little quicker than he had to.
E.J. Jr. is number 54.
Watch it, he's going to come straight ahead, right at us. You see Peterson picks him up there. I don't think White had to rush that pass the way he did. The blitz was picked up.
3rd and 3. Out of the spread formation, Cardinals come on another blitz. Dorsett has the ball, hit him in the helmet. And the Cowboys will have to punt. Ball right through his hands and hit him in the hat.
So, you know, that's why, you know, coaches and always teach players, receivers, to get your hands out in front of you, catch the ball out in front of you, because we see examples of it every game. And when you don't, you get those hands too close to the shoulder pads, then it'll go off and through and bounce out.
Number 4 is Mike Saxon. J.T. Smith is back deep for St. Louis. Saxon is the punter. Rafferty is the center. Smith has some room. Smith hammers into Dallas territory, is down at the Cowboy 45, and the Cardinals will take it over in good shape. 1st and 10 from the Dallas 46. Happy Thanksgiving, Pat Summerall and John Madden at Texas Stadium, where it's the Cardinals 7 and Dallas 7. Jeff Rohr, is that who that is leading?
That was Jeff Rohr, yeah. And, you know, usually when they take them inside like that, it's for x-rays.
Lomax going to work to Green. Walls is back there. And Green made an excellent play to keep that from being intercepted.
Everson Walls, who's the leading interceptor in the NFL this year, had that read all the way. Watch him. He's going back. He knew what Roy Green was going to do. It was like he was in their huddle. He read him. He saw he was going deep. He just kept going deep. And then he became the receiver, and Green became the defender.
It's amazing. They just swapped places, didn't they?
You know, Green, of course, used to be a defensive back.
He made a good play. Here's a draw play to Wolford. He is cut down again, this time by Everson Walls. So you knock him down, you try to intercept him, and then you tackle him. That'll bring up a third down.
Everson Walls is such a good player. You know, you see him leading the NFL in interceptions, and then you watch him cover a Roy Green, then you watch him come in here and play the draw. Had Green blocked him or the safety, they may have had a chance. And then you remember that when the draft came around, he wasn't even drafted.
Free agent, right?
Free agent. They thought he couldn't run fast enough.
Third down and 8 for the Cardinals, and Lomax shifts back deep. No blitz coming this time, but a rush is coming. Lomax out of the pocket. He might have been over the line of scrimmage. Tilley made the leaping catch. No flag. It'll be first and goal, a gain of 41.
You know, Neil Lomax isn't thought of as being a scrambler. What happened is the Cowboys used their three-man line. Randy White was a linebacker rushing from his left side. He saw that he didn't have anything. He got outside of containment. Now that gave Pat Tilley the time to get deep and all the way across the field. Watch him coming here, and that's the second great catch that Pat Tilley's made today.
And it's first and goal. No flags, no penalty. LaFleur moves in motion. They give to Wolfley. Dexter Clinkscale is the first Cowboy there to knock him down. The problem, by the way, with Jeff Rohr is that someone fell on his right ankle, and they've taken him inside for x-rays. It'll be second and goal for the Cardinals. Score tied at 7. A minute 25 left to play first quarter. Mitchell hammered backwards. Michael down. And the rest of the Dallas defense. The Cowboys are saying they've got the ball. The officials don't say so yet. Yes, they do. I believe it was John Dutton who came up with the football. That's the second fumble by the Cardinals. And that's a big one. They're all big.
I tell you, John Dutton and Ed Too Tall Jones, what's the left side here of the defense? They really beat the offense. See 72? He gets a penetration in there. He knocks his tackle, then he knocks it back, and then they're able to come in and converge in that ball and get the fumble. Too Tall Jones made a heck of a defensive goal line play.
First down, Cowboys. They're at about their own 2. They were here a couple of weeks ago against the Bears, and it was disaster. Dorsett out to the 5.
It was a disaster because Danny White went back to pass, and they didn't get Hampton blocked, and he knocked the ball up in the air, and Richard Dent intercepted it for a touchdown.
And that was the beginning of a long day for the Cowboys.
And Coach Tom Landry probably remembers that, and he said, now this time coming out of here, I think maybe we'll just keep the ball on the ground.
7-7 the score. It's second and 7 for the Cowboys. Renfro's the man in motion. This is Dorsett again. To about the 7. Curtis Greer was the first man in red there. We talked in the beginning of our broadcast about the 1985 turnover ratio. In the 8 wins, they're plus 19. In the 4 losses, they're minus 14. And that's the story of almost every game that I can recall, John, that we've done.
And I think that's the story in the league. You know, if you look at the teams that lead that turnover ratio thing, they're the top teams, and usually the teams that are on the bottom are also in the bottom of the standings.
That's the end of quarter number 1 at Texas Stadium with the score 7-7. St. Louis 7, Dallas 7 as we begin the second quarter. Thanksgiving Day, and the Cowboys have been very successful when they hosted the game on Thanksgiving Day. 13-3-1 they are. Danny White back in the end zone. Outside Newsom. Dropped by Newsom. E.J. Jr. was right there with him. I think, John, when you look back at the record, even more significant than 13-3-1 is what happens after Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, the game that they play after Thanksgiving Day, they've been 16-1. I think that's been one of the successes of the Cowboys and why they're always in the playoffs and they always have those winning records, is they play at home on Thanksgiving, win that most of the time, and then get those 10 days off and always win after that game. And then they're on their way.
For the stretch drive, Saxon standing back in his own end zone. J.T. Smith, who got a good return the first time around. Here's Saxon. Good kick. Smith chased all the way back to his own 39-yard line, but again he gets a good return and gets it back into Dallas territory. Brian Salonen down to make the stop. This Sunday, don't forget an NFL doubleheader here on CBS early in the day, beginning at 12:30 Eastern Time. Most of you will see the Los Angeles Rams against the New Orleans Saints. Others will see Minnesota against Philadelphia. And still others will see Tampa Bay against Green Bay. And later in the day, the defending world champion 49ers play the Redskins at RFK in Washington, where John and I will be. Check your local listings for the games coming up Sunday here on CBS. First down Cardinals, the Dallas 44. Marsh in motion. Fake to Mitchell, and Lomax going right to work. Gets it out to Marsh. He is cut down after a gain of about 3 by Everson Walls.
That wasn't it. You can't make a living throwing those kind of passes, can you, Pat? Those are those high percentages that don't go very far. I think he hit Marsh on the line of scrimmage. Then he gained about 2 or 3.
He gained just about as tall as he is.
Yeah, I guess you have to do some of those things that, you know, look good in the stats as completions. They don't get you very far.
They don't get you in the end zone very often. They go on a quick count. Outside quickly to Mitchell. Right out there with him is Eugene Lockhart. And stumped Mitchell. Left Lockhart looking. Fellows knocked him out of bounds.
You know, with O.J. Anderson out, in fact, O.J. Anderson didn't even make the trip today. Stump Mitchell has to take all the playing. He says he enjoys that. He says he likes to go on Monday, or in this case on Friday, the day after the game, and feel hurt and sore and stiff and in a whirlpool and do stuff like that. He said that's the fun of football.
He'll have a chance. 7-7 the score. 3rd and 2. Cardinals at the Cowboy 36. Back to throw is Lomax. Stumbled a bit on the way back, but gets it out to Roy Green. Chased by Clungscale, but down to the Cowboy 23. If Roy Green wasn't hurt, he might be now. He really took a hit from Walls.
Yeah, right at the end of that run he did. Roy Green is up on top. You see him come in motion. Then he comes inside the tight end. He stops, hooks. Now he's making an adjustment. He hooks. Then he slides to the outside. There's Clungscale. Now watch Walls right here, right at the end. He just hit him in the back and bent him backward. Roy Green's coming off the field.
He's headed for the sideline. That had to hurt. Kelly and J.T. Smith split wide to the left. And the handoff is to Wolfley. Over the right side for about 3. Eugene Lockhart.
Hey, I'm impressed with this Cardinal offense today. You know, they've had there's 2 turnovers, but other than that, they've been moving the ball. Neil Lomax looks confident. Roy Green looks relatively healthy. The offensive line is doing a nice job. And if you take those 2 turnovers there, they've had a pretty good first quarter and a half.
Take those 2 turnovers away, and they're ahead.
way of saying it. That's probably more important, isn't it?
Lomax back to throw. Here comes Too Tall Jones chasing. Ball batted away at the last second. I think John Dutton got a hand up and knocked it down, but it was pressure from Ed Jones that caused Lomax to hurry.
Ed Jones says that this is one of the biggest days in his NFL year. He enjoys his whole family comes. His mother, sisters, brothers, the whole family. And they come here, watch the game. He gets tickets for the whole group. Then they all go and eat turkey after the game. And he said, this is a game I have to play the best. He said, I have too many people here watching me to just play average.
I mean, he's got cousins, aunts, and uncles, and everybody.
The whole group, they just load them all in here and then take them all. They all go eat together.
Third down. Lomax, and here comes the blitz, and there they go to Green. Ooh, that could have been 6 easily. Flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. Walls was back there with Green.
The area the flag is in the offensive holding area. Green was complaining. Look at his shoulder pad. That thing got pulled off there somehow. He was complaining he was held or interfered with. I'm sure this penalty will go against the Cardinals.
There was some reaching and holding and fingertip dragging.
Illegal formation on the offense will be declined. 4th down.
Bob Frederick says illegal formation. It will be declined. Boyevich in to attempt the field goal. I've heard about 5 different ways to pronounce that name. Scott Brunner is holding.
I don't see any H on the end of it.
Nope. Notice how he tucks his arm in. And notice how he kicks the ball through from 38 yards out.
I'll tell you, that's whether it's Boyevic or Boyevich, he sure knows how to react. Look, that shirt tail's out. Good thing. Watch that right arm. He starts swinging. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gloves, hand. Oh, God.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Today's Chevrolet, who invite you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86. And by Honda all-terrain vehicles. Honda, follow the leader.
Boyevic to kick off. And James Jones back deep as the Cardinals have taken the lead 10-7. Jones from the Dallas 5. Outside the 30 to about the 31. Freddie Joe Nunn, who was the Cardinals' first-round draft choice, down to make the stop. Don't forget, CBS Sports brings you college football tomorrow with the Cavaliers from Virginia against Maryland, live at 2:30 Eastern Time. Maryland headed for the Cherry Bowl. Live at 2:30 Eastern tomorrow. Here, it's also live at the 31, and the Cardinals lead Dallas by the score of 10-7. Dorsett is the lone setback. Newsom goes in motion. They fake to Dorsett. Outside Newsom. And Newsom hammers to the 40. Gain of 9. Newsom weighs about 240.
That's an interesting thing, isn't it? The way he started in motion and then came back out.
12:04 left to play in the first half, and the Cardinals leading 10-7. One upset already today is the Detroit Lions beat the Jets 31-20.
Good. Newsom did there. He started in motion, got to that end, and then worked back out. The defense went in with him and couldn't get back out in time.
Again, Newsom split out wide to the right, and Renfro comes in motion. That goes back the other way, and they give to Dorsett. Chased from behind and caught from behind by David Galloway. Roy Green is number 81. J.T. Smith sitting next to him. Roy Green seemed not the enthusiastic, happy electric guy that we saw last year, didn't he?
Well, you know what he was saying? He said that, you know, it's been such a frustrating year with all these injuries. He said you really can't practice, you can't play. And he said, I don't know until tomorrow if I'll be able to play or not. And, you know, you can't try it out in your room or in the lobby of the hotel. And you go to bed at night and you don't know if you're going to play the next day or not. That's a tough way to get ready.
White back on first down, facing a St. Louis blitz. The ball intended for Tony Hill and knocked away at the last second by Cedric Mack.
You know, one thing the Cowboys were saying yesterday is that this secondary of the Cardinals has played well. There's Cedric Mack in there. He's all over Tony Hill, covers him well, and he's able to get back, boom, and get that right hand over there. But that secondary of Wayne Smith and Lonnie Young, Leonard Smith, and Cedric Mack is one area that has been playing well this year for the Cardinals.
That'll make it 2nd and 10. White back to Dorsett. About 9. E.J. Jr. tripped him up. Give him 8. It'll make it 3rd and 2. Well, that's an interesting thing that we were talking with Dennis Thurman and Dexter Clinkscale, and they were saying the Cardinals, that secondary you were just talking about, they said they know how to play us.
Well, they do, and the thing he was talking about is, one, they play man-to-man. The Cowboys are better against a zone. And two, the defensive backs crowd the receivers. And the Cowboys have never liked their receivers being crowded.
3rd down, about 1.5 yards. And Dorsett will have it and more as he hammers down to the Cardinal 44. Jeff Griffin made the hit.
Old Dorsett got right in there behind his big right guard, Kurt Peterson. He knows how to follow that. Watch the right guard, 65 pull. See him come down here? Now watch Dorsett. He sees him, gets right in there, boom! He gets the hit there and runs right off that. Those little backs always find those big guards, and they hang around them and stuff.
Good job by Peterson, looking and picking up the middle linebacker.
Right, these backs, like Dorsett likes to just hang out like right in his back pocket, stuff like that.
Cardinals 10, Cowboys 7. White moves Hill to the right side, gives to Newsom. Newsom down to about the 39. David Galloway on the bottom of the pile. The x-rays, by the way, that they took on Jeff Rohr's ankle were negative, and it is possible he could return. Harry Hogeboom signaling in the plays.
That's the way they, you know, more and more teams are doing that, the way to keep the backup quarterback in the game instead of just sitting there with a jacket on at the end of the bench, as they have them signal into the quarterback. Then they're always in.
2nd and 5. White's trying to set up a screen, and he's got it set. Good play by Junior to keep that from going into the end zone. They did get a first down, a gain of 7, but they had blockers out in good shape.
I'll tell you, Dorsett does a good job. See, he starts over on this other side. See him, he's going to make a counter move. Hide in here. Let that line go by. Now sneak down the line. Let your center and guards get out in front of you. See the 3 men? Boom, they get 1. And then E.J. Jr. was down on a knee. He was taking a knee. Dorsett was forced and cut right back into him.
First down, Cowboys. The Cardinal 33. Here comes the blitz again. Dorsett looking back inside, gets inside the 30 to the 29 before Lonnie Young takes him down.
There's a flag on that thing down there, I think. They're talking about that one.
Gain of 3, and there is a penalty marker. Bob Frederick.
Face mask is number 45 in the defense, and it was a 5-yard face mask.
That means
and
it was.
We'll repeat.
That means it was unintentional on Leonard Smith.
And it also means that when he grabbed the face mask that he didn't, you know, keep it and jerk the head back. If they do that, then of course it's 15, and the 5-yard is the less flagrant.
Right.
Apparently.
White back to throw. Full in throw. Incomplete. No flags. Cedric Mack right with him.
Well, the Cowboys said that if they were going to work on someone today in that Cardinal secondary, it was going to be Cedric Mack. Now remember, Cedric Mack is a guy who played defense, then he was switched to offense this year, then he was switched back when Washington was injured. Of course, he has that one thing, though, that you always want in a cornerback. He has 4.5 40.
Over on the sideline where the sticks are, they have second down. On the scoreboard, it has third down.
And it is third. That guy that's handling the sticks over there just forgot to flip that thing over one.
Here's Dorsett. Now it's going to be first down. Lonnie Young tripped him up, but Dorsett got the first.
Now he'll get to flip it to one.
That's Jim Schaffner over talking with Landry and Hogaboom.
They have quite a huddle over there. Watch, this is what we call a roll draw, where the fullback goes first in front of the halfback. He stands there or delays, and then he can see the hole when he gets the ball, as Dorsett just did that time. Dorsett has great eyes, great vision.
Now it's first down, and they're at the Cardinal 20. That's Newsom in motion. They give again to Dorsett. And there's not much there this time. His vision told him to get quickly to the ground.
That's the one thing that Dorsett can do. You know, that's why he's been in this league for 9 years and been relatively healthy. He has great vision. Now, this is where the Cowboys anticipate the blitz. They say anytime you get inside the 20, the Cardinals are going to blitz you. So they're going to have some pass called now for a blitz situation.
Second and long, second and 9. Here comes that blitz. They pick it up pretty well. It's for Cosbie. Touchdown. Nico Noga was back there with him, but it's a 19-yard touchdown catch for Duck Cosbie.
Hey, it's tough for a strong safety to cover Doug Cosbie. We see E.J. Jr. here in the blitz. Nico Noga is the strong linebacker. It is really tough for him to cover Cosbie. He had pretty good coverage, but that was a nice throw by Danny White, getting it over Noga's head, and then Cosbie can come down with it.
So the Cowboys recapture the lead, 13-10. They only got 10 men on the field, and that's the reason they've taken this timeout. Someone will hear about that. Brian Salonen just came onto the field. Cowboys 13, Cardinals 10. Dallas 13, St. Louis 10. Cowboys had to take a timeout because they only had 10 men on the field. Now they've got it squared away. And Raphael Septien will try it with Gary Hogaboom holding. Septien makes it 14-10 with 6.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Here's the touchdown.
Let's see what happened. You see, here's one receiver, two receivers, three receivers. See, the Cowboys had three receivers. So here's one defensive back, two, three defensive back, and four here, the safety. So that leaves Noga, the strong linebacker, having to cause man-to-man on Doug Cosbie. Now the free safety looks this way, the side of this side. Cosbie comes up man-to-man and has the whole corner here to work on the linebacker who's right on him. See the two receivers over there? The safety there in the middle favors that side. Now watch right down here. Noga has Cosbie man-to-man all the way. That's a mismatch, but it was pretty good coverage by Noga. Cosbie still got the smile. He said, I like that when they put the linebacker right on me, and he has to cover me all the way down the field.
So Raphael Septien will kick off. Clyde Duncan back deep for the Cardinals. Won't be Duncan, it'll be Wolfley. Number 24 hammers out to about the 30, outside the 30. Good return by Ron Wolfley. Vince Albritton and Bill Bates finally got him down. A gain of 29. Don't forget, CBS Sports brings you on Saturday the season's premiere of NCAA basketball. The Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech, led by Mark Price, against Michigan, the Wolverines. A lot of people think they're the #1 and #2 teams in the country, and after that it'll be Notre Dame against #4 ranked Miami. That's football. The Hurricanes headed for the Sugar Bowl. And the finale for Jerry Fowler. Lomax gives to Mitchell. He gets about 3 before Dexter Clinkscale comes up to knock him down, along with John Dutton.
What the Cardinals are trying to do here is go 2 tight ends and put their 2 wide receivers out and get that secondary, get that Michael Downs out of there so that he can't hit that run at the line of scrimmage. That's what they did then. Spread the defense out, spread the secondary out, and then try and pick away at that middle.
Gain of 5, so it'll make it 2nd and 5. Cowboys 14, Cardinals 10. Lomax back to throw it. Had some time, has a lot of time. Has a completion to Tilley. On a rebound, and it's a 1st down, Cardinals. A gain of 21, Eugene Lockhart.
I'll tell you one thing, that is good pass protection, because that allowed these guys to run around. Watch Tilley, he's running it out. He sees Lomax scramble. He starts to scramble back in, then out, then tips the ball as he was going back where he came from. Hey, there's a lot of stuff going around in there. But watch his pass protection here. Here's Luis Sharp against Jeffcoat. Boom, they're fighting down there in those trenches. Randy White in there, Dutton down on his butt. They had him pretty good.
That's a good job. 4:50 left to play in the 1st half. Lomax looked quickly to the outside. Has Tilley again. Rod Fellows took him down, but Lomax quickly to Tilley. A gain of 17 and another Cardinal 1st down.
Yeah, when we talked to Neil Lomax last night, Pat, he sounded awfully confident.
He did.
And when we see him playing today, he's playing with a lot of confidence. Watch this. He comes back. He's going to throw this slant over here to the left. 1, 2, 3. 3-step drop. Whap. Hit Tilley in there. It looked like Tilley caught that one backhanded, didn't it?
He caught an earlier one backhanded over on the sideline like that. That's the automatics, the audibles they were talking about to us last night. Mitchell has the ball knocked out of his hands and out of bounds by Eugene Lockhart. He got a gain of maybe 2.
Stump Mitchell as he walks back there. He said, you know, that's one thing that no running back likes to do, is ever have that ball knocked out of his hands. He's having a little problem with it today. And one thing, you know, as a running back, you never want to be known as a fumbler. I think that's the worst thing that they can say. And anytime that, even if they're out of bounds and that ball gets knocked out, they get awfully upset.
Well, you get that reputation, and then it sort of sticks with you, and the people on the other side start to kid you about it, and then your teammates get on the bandwagon. Here's Lomax back to throw, and the Cowboys in the blitz. Lomax just gets away with it. Just gets it away. Intended for Pat Tilley. Fellows was back. If Lomax had had more time, Tilley had a couple of steps.
That was the thing. When that blitz comes, Lomax has to get rid of the ball. Of course, he hopes when he gets rid of it that someone is open. And that play, he did half of it. He got rid of the ball, but of course he couldn't get it to Tilley. Here's the big down here. Here's when the Cowboys are in their 4-0 defense with their 7 defensive backs.
This is when they start bringing those people up the middle and from the corners, and it looks like they might be coming this time. Lomax thought they were coming. There's a flag down in the end zone. Roy Green was complaining to the official. Everson Walls was with him. Michael Downs coming on a blitz.
Of course, if that's against the Cowboys, it's an automatic 1st down.
And it is.
Watch him, will be in the slot right here. You see Walls. He's on the slot on Roy Green right there. They had a bump there.
Defense number 24.
I don't know about that one.
1st down.
I didn't see him push him.
No, it looked like to me that Walls had the position and Green went into him. I mean, I don't agree with these penalties here. I mean, he didn't do anything right there. And they have to let these guys on defense play football. I mean, if they interfere, that's one thing. But when they do something like that, you have to let them do that.
First down, Cardinals, just inside the Cowboy 20, and they give to Mitchell, and he is hit just as he gets the ball by John Dutton. The stump might have lunged for a yard.
I think Dutton must have taken an inside move on Joe Bostic. It doesn't even look like Bostic hit him on that play. Dutton was in the backfield before Stump Mitchell got to the line of scrimmage.
John Dutton, what, down to about 268 now?
I remember one time when he was over 300. He was well over 300
when he played with the Colts. Here comes the blitz. There's Downs. They get the ball out to Mitchell, and he is tripped up from behind by Mike Hegman. Only about a yard.
This is what we talked about earlier, you know, the blitz. Here we see Michael Downs coming in. He's right here. He's going to blitz. Now what Lomax has to do is get out here and get the ball away before Downs can get him. Watch Downs. He's going to time it. Here he comes. He's free. He's coming right up the middle there. Now watch. Lomax can feel him come and say, I have to get rid of it right now. And he does, but they only gained a yard on the play.
Good play by Hegman to be out there on the coverage quickly. Now they go with 4 wide receivers, the Cardinals do. Cowboys show him blitz again, but this time they don't come. Lomax up into the pocket, has a man wide open, J.T. Smith, and he gets a first down for St. Louis. Dennis Thurman hammered him out of bounds, but the Cardinals will have it first and goal after a gain of 13.
Again, the Cowboys don't come on a blitz this time. Bill Bates is up there faking it, but he holds. But look at this pass protection. Look there. They're able to get those guys out, give Lomax time. Then he can step up, and he finds J.T. Smith out to his right. But I'm impressed with the job that this offensive line is doing of pass protection today.
Absolutely. They have done a good job. That's the 2-minute warning. Dallas leads by 4, but the Cardinals are at the door. Pat Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium. Dallas 14, St. Louis 10. But the Cardinals have it first and goal at the Dallas 5.5-yard line. And as John was saying just a minute ago, the Cardinals have done an excellent job protecting Neil Lomax. Maybe the Cowboys were right. They do know how to play us. They've already beaten Dallas once this year. Lomax back to throw, looking left and looking quick to Green. Touchdown. Lomax to Green, and the Cardinals get the lead again. A touchdown pass from 5 yards out.
You know, it's interesting. They put Roy Green on the left side that time. His bad ankle is the left ankle. But when he gets on the left side, he can make this out cut. Watch him right here at the bottom of the screen. He's going to plant his right foot to make the out cut. You can see it right here. See, here he is. He's working right into the end zone. But by doing this, by getting up here, now he plants off the right foot, and he can make that quick cut.
And the Cardinals lead 17-14 as Bojovic. Extra point is good. Roy Green is starting to feel a lot better. Delighted, for the moment at least, Neil Lomax. You know, John Madden and I were just talking when we spoke with him last night. He did seem very, very confident and very loose and very much up about this contest.
And he's still up. You know, I think one of the things that helped, he was talking about the long day they had. They got up in the morning, they had meetings, they practiced. They had an hour to get to the airport to fly down here. They were late getting here. They had dinner and a meeting. Maybe that helped them not having a lot of time to think about it. Of course, this guy here has helped them too. Just him being out there in the field and being maybe 80% is pretty good for this offense.
80% of him is still pretty doggone good. James Jones lets it bounce. Todd Fowler comes up with the ball and gets out to about the 21. Charlie Baker is down to make the stop. 9 plays. They went 69 yards. They kept the ball 4 minutes 33 seconds, and Lomax finished it off. Has to be a very satisfying time right now for that man, Jim Hanifin. He's been under fire.
And this is a big game for Jim Hanifin. Could be one of the biggest of his career, because it really is funny how everything can go wrong. You can have injuries and players out and missing and guys dropping balls or missing tackles, but they always blame the coach. He's the guy that has to go. I'll tell you, Jim Hanifin is a good coach and he's a good guy.
That's Dorsett moving in motion. And the pitch is back to Newsom. And Timmy Newsom bowls to about the 30-yard line. Lonnie Young was the man he bowled over. Gain of 9.
Lonnie Young came up there. He's a free safety. He came up there and got in position to get knocked over.
Here's Danny White back to throw on 2nd down. Whirls it outside to Dorsett. Dorsett gets out of bounds. Gets it up for a Dallas 1st down. There might have been a penalty marker down on the other side as someone hit Dorsett way out of bounds. There's a flag.
That's where you don't want to do it, because when it's on their sideline, the minute that the hit is there, they're all starting to yell, you know, out of bounds, illegal hit. Leonard Smith on that side.
Right.
Personal foul on the defense, number 45. 1st down.
Here it is. You see Leonard Smith coming up. Now Dorsett is, I don't know.
That's close too.
Yeah. I mean, that's getting awfully picky. I think there's somewhere between hard play and dirty play. And to me, you're coming up, the guy's making a cut, you make a play like that. I think that's awfully picky. Danny White said 7. 5 on one end and 2 on the other. 7.
Danny White back to throw. Has time. Goes deep for Renfro, who's got a step. Renfro is out of bounds at about the 17. Cedric Mack was the defender, but a gain of 30 and a strike from White.
Hey, that was awfully sharp by Danny White. Renfro was the guy he's signaling to. Renfro's looking in here. He's going to run a corner. He's going to get by Mack, up and now out to this side. Cutting it off. Danny White again throws it right over Mack's shoulder. I'll tell you, that was, Danny White saw something. He saw that tight coverage, and he said 7 out there. That must be the 7 route, the corner route to Renfro. And he came back, looked at him all the way, and whap, threw it to him.
1st down, Dallas at the St. Louis 16. Cardinals leading it by 3, 17-14. Drive right there.
Tony Hill's the slot guy. He's going to start up and then run inside. You see what he started doing? He started Jeff Griffin up, then made Griffin turn, and then he cut right back inside him for the slam.
And the touchdown. And Dallas moves back in the lead now, 2017. Septien for the extra point out of the hands of Hogaboom. 1:08 left to play in the 1st half. An exciting 1st half, and Dallas up by 4. And happy Thanksgiving from us, too, along with Tony Hill. And right now, it's a happy moment for that man. That's the first pass, by the way, that he's caught today. And it put the Cowboys ahead. Wolfley takes it at about the 6. Gets it out to about the 27 before down he goes.
Yeah, we're going to see all the pressure. The Cardinals are overloading this side and trying to get pressure. Danny White does a good job. Newsom steps up and block. He has to get rid of the ball. Tony Hill runs a slant right in here after these guys blitz. You see the area they vacate. You see them both coming now. Now Hill is going to go into that area. Newsome picks up the blitzer. Danny White does a good job of getting rid of the ball. And, of course, Tony Hill's in the end zone.
Tilly and Green come wide to the left. Green in the slot. J.T. Smith is off to the right. High snap Lomax gives to Mitchell, who gets hammered by the right arm of Randy White to bring him down.
I guess that's what you get for being strong like Randy White is. You don't have to be in position. You don't have to get both arms around him. You don't have to do anything except put a hand out there. He just put that right hand out there, poof, and old stump went right down.
21-17, Cowboys over the Cardinals, and would seem that, well, now they go back into the spread. I started to say that Jim Hannafin and the Cardinals might want to rest. But Lomax is going back to work. And he gets enough work done for a first down before Clinkscale and Bates knock him down. Lomax scrambles for 14 and a Cardinal first. 17 seconds left to play in the first half. And a timeout by St. Louis. Don't forget that coming up at halftime, Brent will have a live interview with the new coach at Notre Dame, Lou Holtz. At Arkansas, successful, at Minnesota, successful, and now hopefully successful at Notre Dame. He'll be live with Brent at the half. And again, in case you missed it, earlier today, the Detroit Lions upset the New York Jets 31-20. And that sort of clouds that picture in the AFC East, doesn't it? Cloudy here today, too.
That's the thing. I think it's cloudy in the entire AFC. In the NFC, you know, the Bears have kind of stepped up and said, we're the team. We're the dominant team this year. And in the AFC, there really hasn't been a dominant team. You know, for a while you think it's Seattle, and they go down, the Raiders, and then they lose a couple, and you think it's the Jets, and they lose to Detroit. There's the one dominant team right there.
That team on top. And 2 weeks from Saturday, John Madden and I will be at Giant Stadium to see the Bears take on the Jets. And that could be, for the Jets, a very meaningful outing. Smerrick has replaced Dutton now as Lomax goes back to throw and gets it down the middle. And gets it complete to Ernest Gray. And again, the Cardinals take a timeout. That's enough for a first down, a gain of 12.
Now what they're trying to do, the Cowboys are trying to move Randy White around. Here they have him over here. They want him to work against the rookie tackle, Lance Smith. So instead of playing a right tackle, they put him over here. He's going to run a stunt with Too Tall. Too Tall's supposed to start in, take both of them, then Randy White's going to come underneath. But I'll tell you, the rookie did a pretty good job.
Sure did.
Lance Smith.
That didn't fool anybody.
Not bad. He kind of picked off Too Tall. Joe Bostic waited for him to come inside. You know, Lance Smith is number 61, and he was a guard rookie and playing in their guard most of the time. And when Tootie Robbins got injured, they had to move him from guard to tackle. And not only being a rookie is being tough, but moving from guard to tackle, and he's done a pretty good job.
By the way, Tony Hill, with that touchdown catch, his first of the day, his first pass catch of the day, has now caught passes in 57 straight games. That's just one short of the record, the Cowboy record, held by Drew Pearson. Tilly comes out wide to the left. Roy Green is in the slot to the right, and J.T. Smith is way up at the top of your picture. Lomax is hit by Thurman. Dennis Thurman from the backside. And some help from the other side. I couldn't tell who that was.
Well, that's when they bring 8, Pat. That's the one we're talking about. They only have 7 blockers. The free guy is going to be Thurman out here. He's coming from this backside. They're coming here, 2 in the middle. They're bringing the 8. Now watch Thurman from the backside. They go in the most dangerous man the inside. No one blocks Thurman. and Lomax doesn't have a chance.
The other man there was Bill Bates, who came up the middle, and that's the end of the half. And an exciting first half. The Cowboys 21, the Cardinals 17.
Now in the palm of your hand. The computer experts. And by AC Delco, the smart parts.
Again, happy Thanksgiving. Dallas 21, St. Louis 17 as we get ready to go with the third quarter. Looking at the halftime statistics. First downs to St. Louis, yards rushing to St. Louis, yards passing to St. Louis, total yards to St. Louis, and unfortunately turnovers to St. Louis. They also have kept the ball more than the Cowboys have. Dallas leads at 21-17. Temperature when we started the game, they said inside the stadium, was 49 degrees and overcast and rather brisk. Outside in the parking lot, which is about 100 yards away, it was 40. So a 9-degree difference between here and the parking lot.
Well, that hole up on top is just a little hole. You know, it's
right.
not. You know, if there was no hole, it'd probably be like 72 degrees in there. See that hole there? That keeps it down about 10 degrees different. Now, if they close that up, it could be, you know, about 20 degrees different.
Neil Lomax has had no problems with the weather in the first half. 14 out of 19. One touchdown. Boyovich set to kick off. James Jones back deep for the Cowboys. He handles it about the 9. And Jones trying to get behind the wall. They had a return right set up, and he couldn't get behind the wall. Dallas first half possessions. 5 plays touchdown, 3 plays a punt, 3 plays a punt. Got it at their own 31, got a touchdown. Got it at their own 22 and ended up with a touchdown in 4 plays.
They started good, ended good, and were mediocre in the middle, huh?
Danny White has thrown 3 touchdown passes. To Hill, to Cosbie, and to Renfro. First down. Dorsett in motion. They go on a long count. They give to Newsom, and Newsom hammers left and gets about 4. Mark Duda on the bottom of the pile made a stop.
Hey, Tom Rafferty did a nice job on David Galloway on that play. Galloway was the nose tackle who just about jumped offside. The ball was going to his left. Rafferty fires into him. What you see is on Rafferty's left shoulder. You see him kind of hook him, reach out there, and then bring him back in. Now that makes that hole back in there for Newsom so that he can get a couple yards on that play. But the guy was outside of him, boom, and hooked him in.
2nd and 6. Newsom got 4. That's Cosbie doing the dance. Ball is batted up in the air by Al Baker. Baker a little bit upset with himself because he thought he might have been able to bat that one where he could catch it and score.
Baker does the stuff that Too Tall usually does over on that side. You get that rush up the field. You don't have to get to the quarterback. Then when he turns towards you and starts to throw, you go up in the air. Remember, that happened against the Bears down here from that same side. It was Dan Hampton coming from that left end.
And it wound up with a Bear touchdown by Richard Dent. Dorsett is out, and Carl Poe is in. White operates out of the spread formation, has some time, throws to Tony Hill, incomplete. Wayne Smith, the defender, and there is no flag anywhere to be seen. Crowd booing because they thought there should have been a penalty, but that looked like a good defensive play.
I think so. I think Wayne Smith has quietly been having a pretty good year. You know, he's out there, and you know, if they don't throw the ball on you a lot or catch a lot of passes on you, or you don't have any interference, they don't talk about you much.
That's right.
Sometimes a corner's best day is when his name isn't mentioned.
That applies to offensive tackles as well. Mike Saxon back to punt for Dallas, and J.T. Smith back deep for St. Louis. Saxon off the side of his foot. J.T. Smith will have some room. Down quickly is Vince Albritton, who makes the stop for the Cowboys, but the Cardinals get it up close to midfield. The Western Division standings in the NFC. The Rams 9-3, San Francisco 7-5, New Orleans 4-8, and Atlanta 2-10. Now this Sunday's a big day for the NFC Western Division race. Early in the day, the Rams take on the Saints and their new head coach Wade Phillips, Bum's son. And the 49ers take on the Redskins in Washington. Don't you know that place is going to be rocking. Lomax quickly to Tilley. Pass completed for Cowboy 46. Now they say he was juggling and didn't have possession, and it's incomplete.
The way Pat Tilley is looking, he agrees with him. You see Walls, the way the Cowboys play, they look back into the backfield at the quarterback. He was playing a zone there. I don't know that he did bobble it. From that angle, it looked like he just caught the ball. But it was only about 3 or 4 yards, and Tilley says, well, the last time we played these guys, I got away with a premature spike. So I'll let them have that 3 or 4 yard play there. I think it was just a trade out.
No complaint. They go in a quick count again, and this is Mitchell with some room. Stump Mitchell down close to a first down. Michael Downs. Eugene Lockhart tripped him up. Cardinals going on quick counts. That happened the last 2 plays in a row. So the Cowboys really don't have a chance to get those people up in blitzing situations or to adjust.
You know, you look at this St. Louis first half possession and you realize that in that first half they were really never stopped except by themselves in the halftime gun. I mean, either time they either scored, turned it over, or it was halftime.
Well, you look at the measurement for the first down, and also you look at that the graphic we just showed you, and nowhere in there was there a punt. Birdsong has not kicked. Ernie Staudtner, the Dallas defensive coordinator.
He's signaling in there the defense, and of course that just means short yardage defense. At 3rd and inches.
Gene Stallings alongside Ernie.
And he's telling everyone, get low. All the defensive linemen, 4-point stance, get low, penetrate.
I got a feeling Lomax might go for a bunch. He has Green and Tilley wide left. He gives to Mitchell, and he got enough. Not a bunch, but enough. Eugene Lockhart and Michael Downs.
Ernie wants them stopped. You know, when he's there, he wants those guys to get stopped. Of course, when they get that first down, now he has to start thinking first down defenses. This is what he looked like when he wants to play. Ernie's signaling first down. He says, well, they got it. Okay. They don't like that.
Ernie has a very, very distinct way of telling you how he feels.
He sure does.
21-17, Dallas leading. Green is wide right, and Tilley comes in motion in that direction. Lomax back to throw. Out of the pocket he comes. Going deep for Tilley. Incomplete as Fellows runs with him stride for stride. A little fracas going on back up by the line of scrimmage. Ed Jones and Eugene Lockhart. Randy Clark of the Cardinals, number 64, involved.
You know what happens when the quarterback starts to scramble, those defensive guys are chasing him, and they want to get there before he gets rid of the ball, and they hate to run that far and get that tired and not be able to get a lick. So sometimes after the guy throws it, then they give a lick, and then of course the lick starts a fight.
Why is it if it's a running back and a defensive lineman has a shot at him, okay, let's just tackle him? If it's a quarterback, let's knock his head off if we can.
Well, the running back, they get lots of shots at running backs throughout a game. They get very few shots at the quarterback.
Here comes Downs up threatening and showing blitz. Walls goes with Green, and Lomax runs a draw play to Wolfley. And after all of the maneuvering and adjusting, no gain.
You know, that 4-0 defense, we see that they ran it 8 times, blitz 3, and they got 1 sack out of it. But the Cardinals have really done a good job against it. They've averaged 11 yards. So that's not bad. And here comes the 4-0 defense on this play.
4-0, John, meaning there are 4 down linemen no linebackers, and everybody else is a defensive back. Randy White comes over to the left side again. Flag is down for Green. Incomplete. Downs and Walls back there with Roy Green, but a flag was down early.
And I think what happened, Pat, I think the Cardinals were thinking that they would come with that 4-0 max blitz. The penalties against the Cowboys. They'll just take that down over. But what happened is Roy Green ran a post pattern. That was a pattern that you would like to have against the blitz. That one-on-one coverage, no safety there. Cowboys came into 4-0, but they didn't blitz.
Bob Frederick.
Defense number 72 offside. Third down will be replayed.
Ed Jones was offside.
And he lined up. Ed Jones is right here. You see now, they must have his hand being there or moving first. But he's right there lined up over the guard. See him in there? I think maybe they said that his head was over the ball or his right hand. That's getting picky too, isn't it?
Third down, 6. Blitz was on again. Roy Green, the intended receiver. They had a lot of people after Lomax.
I think, again, we know that there's always going to be a free guy, and the free guy is right here. Here's a free guy this time. Now, again, Lomax has to get rid of the ball before Downs gets there. Now, watch it right here. You see he's not blocked. Stump Mitchell goes inside. Right there, Downs is a free guy. Lomax does get rid of the ball. Of course, it's not complete.
Bojovic from 53 yards away is going to try a field goal with Scott Brunner holding. They have had a hard time kicking field goals. They've made only 11 all year long. That one was a bit much to ask for, and it remains 21-17. There is what a woeful time the Cardinals have had kicking field goals all year long. Bojovic is their third this year. They started off with O'Donohue. Then they got Jess Atkinson. And now Novo. Dorsett moves back deep. 1st and 10, Dallas. And the pitch is back to Tony. And Tony whips outside the 40. Stopped down by Curtis Greer.
I'll tell you, Chris Schultz really does the job on Curtis Greer at the beginning of the play. Watch Schultz. He's 66. He drives in there, gets both hands into his chest, stays square on him, drives, stays with him, stays with him, stays with him. And by the time Greer comes off, Dorsett had gained about 8 yards.
There's a guy who has really improved, really worked, and has become the starting left tackle for the Cowboys. 6'8" and 288 he is. That's Newsom. Not enough for the first down. David Galloway rode the play out.
Yeah, you talk about Chris Schultz being 6'8". You know, he's from Canada, and, you know, obviously now he's down here playing for the Cowboys, but he wanted to be a hockey player.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know that they make him that. I mean, those hockey players are usually shorter type guys, I think, than 6'8". I mean, you'd put those skates on, you'd be about 7'6".
Bill, would be bad for the ice.
He's a big goalie, just fill out the goal.
3rd down and 2. Carl Poe for a first down. Over the middle, stopped by Lonnie Young. But the Cowboys get their first down yardage.
Poe did a nice job of holding on to that ball because he was hit by Lonnie Smith just as the ball gets here. Watch Poe, he's number 81, coming to the inside, gets away from E.J. Jr. The ball's there, Lonnie Young is there, and he held on to it. Get the first down.
A little whiplash, maybe.
A lot of stuff was bouncing back where it came from.
1st and 10. Newsom is split out wide to the right, and Dorsett moves in behind Danny White. throw. Has some time looking for Tony Hill. Incomplete as Wayne Smith was back there with him. Hill had some room.
Danny White saw that too, because he did have Hill. There was no safety there in the middle. Let's watch Schultz on Greer there. Greer gets the inside move on him, and then what Schultz does is just run him right by it. Here's Tony Hill on the under end of that thing. You see why Danny White was so upset is he had man-to-man with no safety in the middle, and he could really lead him in there.
They had some room, no question about it. Second down and 10. Cowboys operating from their own 49. Renfro flanked to the left and Hill outside him, and Renfro moves in motion. Cardinals on a blitz. White to Renfro, incomplete. Jeff Griffin on the coverage.
That's the thing, you know, the Cowboys are doing a good job too here. Watch E.J. Jr. He's going to come in the blitz, but the Cowboys do a solid job of protecting for Danny White here. See, now Jr. does a good job of timing it. He gets there right as the ball snapped, picked up by Peterson, letting Danny White get rid of the ball. Maybe it was just a little sooner than he wanted to throw it, and maybe it made him throw that hair off to the right, but it was still picked up.
So it's third down, and White operates out of the shotgun. And goes down the middle for Cosbie, and it's picked off by E.J. Jr. Intended for Cosbie. White was hammered, and he's still got his head down on the turf and is slow getting to his feet. That's the first Dallas turnover, as Baker and Galloway were back there.
They were there. Danny White threw. Now this was really a double coverage because E.J. Jr. was behind him. He was running underneath him, and Bobby Johnson was the deep guy, so they had him kind of short and deep. Well, I'll tell you, David Galloway did hit Danny White. Watch him. You know the thing with that turf, the turf doesn't give, and that's the way these quarterbacks get injured when they're driven into the turf.
Have the ball, and Lomax digs to Wolfley. He's over the right side and hammered after a gain of about a yard. Ed Jones and John Dutton were there.
There's E.J. Jr. sitting there and resting. He's talking about it now. See, he's usually the middle linebacker. On that play, he moved out on Doug Cosbie and ran all the way with him underneath. He did have help deep.
Jesse Pym, by the way, has taken Jeff Rohr's place. He's the Dallas right side linebacker. Second down, and 8 to go for a first. Neil Lomax. Third quarter with 8:15 left to play, and Lomax back in the pocket. Looks in the direction of Tilley, is hit by Jim Jeffcoat, and the pass goes high.
Remember the first time the Cardinals played the Cowboys in St. Louis, Jim Jeffcoat had a big game against Luis Sharp. And today I think Sharp's doing a better job. That was the first time that they'd put an inside move in for Jeffcoat where he'd just take the inside. But here we see he's working against the guard. That time it wasn't against Sharp anyway that he got there. He was on a stunt.
They had Randy White going to the outside, and Jeffcoat came to the inside. Third down and 8. Lomax is 0 for 4 in this half. Now he operates out of the spread, and here comes that blitz, and Downs. Pass was caught and dropped by J.T. Smith, and incomplete. Lomax got it out there to him. Downs was right in his face.
Neil Lomax did what he had to do. We'll see Downs is going to come be the free guy again. But again, Lomax has to get rid of the ball before Downs gets there. You see, he's not being blocked now. He's looking towards him. That's an advantage. When the blitz, the free guy is coming to the side you're throwing to.
So coming up, the Cardinals' first punt today by Carl Birdsong. Bill Bates back deep for the Cowboys. Line drive, good kick by Birdsong, and Bates Eludes one man, gets away from another. Bates to the 32. Bob Harris knocked him down. 45-yard punt, 10-yard return, so they net 35, and the Cowboys take over with 7:55 left to play third quarter. Season premiere next Saturday. The Yellow Jackets from Georgia Tech against Michigan. And after that, Notre Dame against the number 4 ranked Miami Hurricanes. All that coming up Saturday here on CBS. Right now, Cowboys lead 21-17. This is Newsome over the right side, and he got about 6. Freddie Joe Nunn, the Cardinals' first-round draft choice of last year, tripped him up. Sort of settled down here in the third quarter a little bit after a lot of fireworks in the first half.
Yeah, we had the interception, and the Cardinals couldn't take advantage of it. You know, that drop pass, and then they had a punt, and now the Cowboys get it back again. You know, this Thanksgiving Day, I wonder now if most people have eaten by now, are eating, or eat after this, or when they get up there to the table.
A lot depends on the time zone, I think. Here's Dorsett over the right side. And Tony, behind some good blocking, gets the first down. Leonard Smith made the stop. A gain of 9.
Talking about turkey and Thanksgiving, Tony Dorsett's mother is in town, and she goes over and cooks the dinner for him. So she's taking care of all that stuff. That's all going on right now while he's out here running. And he said the best deal of this thing is to get the game over with, win, then go have that turkey and those 10 days off before you have to play again.
Turkey, ham, carrot cake, and chitlins.
A bunch of chitlins. 30 pounds of chitlins she cooks, she said. Probably send some of that to the refrigerator, some guys.
Here's White back to throw and going deep for Cosbie. Nothing doing there. They had him doubled. Leonard Smith and Lonnie Young back with Duck Cosbie.
They did. Earlier on the interception, they had him double-teamed short and deep. This time they have him double-teamed inside out. They got both sides of him. There was no interference there.
Nothing.
Cosbie looked like he just tripped up there in the carpet there at the end. Duck Cosbie has tendonitis in both knees, and after he plays a game, like for the first couple of days, he can't even walk after that. He said there's nothing you can do for it except ice and aspirin, but about a week it starts to feel better. I bet this short week is bothering him.
You play the game long enough, you get it. There's Dorsett trying to get to the outside, gets very little. Freddie Joe Nunn on the tackle. 6:07 left to play third quarter. Cowboys 21, Cardinals 17.
There's Freddie Joe Nunn, number 1 draft choice of the Cardinals, as you said, but supposedly he can run the 40 in 4.5. Now that's as fast as Cedric Mack does, who plays out here in the corner. And that's why they put him at corner and wide receiver. The way he burst there, he looked like he could. Now if he can run 4.5, he can run faster than Dorsett. No, he can't either now. Dorsett was probably 4.4. It'd be a good race, though.
Would be. Except he's 40 pounds bigger. Tony Hill, touchdown Dallas. 53 yards away. Cedric Mack. And I got to see that again. There was some pushing and shoving going on there.
Well, Cedric Mack held up somehow. He started to pull up or stop. Tony Hill kept going and ran right by him. Remember yesterday they said if there's one guy they were going to work on, it would be the left corner, Cedric Mack. Now watch it. Mack has him here. Now right in here, he pulls up. You see it right there. Mack stopped. He thought the ball was in the air. I wonder if Hill gave him a fake by looking or said ball or something. Because Mack stopped, looking to play the ball in the middle of the route.
I think when Tony Hill looked back, he pulled up thinking the ball was going to be short. Same thing happened to him last week against Lionel Manuel. That extra point was partially blocked, but Raphael Septien still got it through, and it's good. Leonard Smith got a hand on it. Cowboys 28-17. Danny White has many reasons to be happy right now. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes today. That last one to Tony Hill as Septien kicks off to Clyde Duncan at the 9. Duncan swings to his left and is taken down at about the 28-yard line by Brian Salonen.
Let's watch the touchdown pass again here to Tony Hill. So he starts off the line. Now there's a period right in there. You see when he looks back there, then Cedric Mack, for some reason, thought the ball was there because he's taught not to look at the ball, to look at the guy. Now when he looks up, you look up. Hill looked up, but that was just a fake. Now let's watch what happened on the extra point. It was blocked here, right there. Leonard Smith comes across. He's going to block it right there. All he did was change it out of end over end into a spiral.
And it was still good, and the Cowboy lead is 28-17 now. Marsh was the man in motion. Lomax back to throw, chased by Jones. Completes the pass to Stump Mitchell. Mitchell gives him a little nonchalant look and gets out to midfield. Vince Albritton finally got him down. Stump lulled him to sleep, didn't he?
Stump gave him a little what they call stop and go. Stump got out there, it looked like slow motion. He got out there and he just stopped. Right in motion. You know, it's the way they usually do when they're out of bounds. Watch him. He'll start up here. Now he just stopped. Boom. Then he said, take that, Lockhart. And then he runs right by him. Breaks the tackle, cuts back to the inside. Michael Downs says, hey, I'm not going for that one, Stump.
A gain of 20 as Wolfley goes over the right side for about 2 more. Stopped by Ed Jones and John Dutton. That'll make it 2nd and 8 as the Cardinals move back into Cowboy territory with 4:20 left, 3rd quarter.
You know, last night when the Cardinals arrived here in Dallas at their hotel, someone delivered Stump Mitchell a bunch of balloons. I guess they call them a bouquet of balloons. He said, I have no idea who they're from. The only thing is, he said, I'll keep them. They may be from Randy White.
Somehow I doubt it.
And Roy Green stole his balloon.
Here comes the blitz again, and they're in Lomax's face. And the ball gets on the ground. Michael Downs was a little late, but it still worked.
He timed it pretty good because Michael Downs knows that if you're not going to get there, watch him. Here's Michael Downs here. He's going to come up. If you're not going to get all the way to this point, then stop and jump and knock the ball down. Now watch Downs. He's timing it from here. Here he comes, full speed, right up in that center guard gap. He sees the ball. He just dives, gets that hand up there, and picked it off with his left hand. That's pretty good. That's pretty good hand reaction.
Pretty good athletic ability right there. 3rd down. Cardinals need 8. Lomax gets it out to J.T. Smith, and it'll be enough for a 1st down. A +18 and a 1st down, St. Louis.
Again, he got the ball off before Downs. Now watch this. Here's Downs here again this time. Not coming in the middle, coming from the outside. Again, Lomax getting back, getting rid of the ball before Downs gets there. Again, they're going to block the inside. We see Bates coming up the middle. They take him, and then they came off on Downs. They took 2 there with that one. But J.T. Smith was able to get open, and Lomax was able to get him the ball.
1st down, Cardinals. They're at the Dallas 30. Here's Lomax with a lot of time. Going for Green, and Green is, well, he had a couple of steps. Everson Walls was chasing along with Dexter Clinkscale, and that's out of the end zone.
Hey, one thing about Roy Green, when he's out there, whether he's 80%, 90%, or 100%, he still draws double coverage. Dexter Clinkscale was there in the double with him. You know, Dexter Clinkscale was saying something important or interesting about Neil Lomax yesterday about when he throws deep, he tips his shoulder back. Then he can't come off it and go short. He has to go deep. And that's exactly what he did on that last play.
So it's 2nd down. To Tilley. And he'll have another Cardinal 1st down. A gain of 12. Harrison Walls, the defender.
But Pat Tilley just caught that last pass, but this is Pat Tilley on the play before, the one that went to Roy Green. Because Clinkscale came off on him to cover Green, no one was on Tilley. He was upset, so he probably went back and said, hey, Lomax hit me. Lomax said, okay, and he hit him for a first down.
Tilley has caught 6 for 115 yards. And it's first down, Cardinals now. The Cowboys leading 28-17. That was Green in motion, and here's Lomax back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket and chased and hit by Eugene Lockhart. Randy White had a chance for an interception and couldn't come up with it, and that's Lomax down. Hit by Lockhart, and now Lomax is back up.
Tell you again, the same thing happened to Danny White, and that's a tough thing about this artificial turf. Lomax is walking towards the Cowboys sideline. I wonder if he's not been knocked out. He's walked over to the Cowboys sideline. But watch this, as he gets hit, now watch him, he gets driven into that turf and it doesn't give. He's down on one knee in the Cowboys sideline. Bill Bates came out to help him.
And so did Gary Hogeboom. And then they signaled over to the Cardinal sideline to get the medical staff out here.
You know what happened? Lomax, instead of walking back to the huddle, started walking to the sideline, but it was the Cowboys sideline.
And Scott Brunner begins to warm up. Neil Lomax, that's his record today. Now they're checking his left shoulder, but I think his head hit the turf as well.
I think so. At first, I think, you know, he had the smelling salts out there, and I think that you know, he may have been a little dizzy or woozy.
And Scott Brunner has taken his place. Here comes the all-out blitz, and there's the ball in the air. Brunner, I think his arm is going forward, but we'll have to wait and see. The Cowboys are saying fumble. That's Mike Hegman who's down. And they do say it was a fumble. Eugene Lockhart coming off with the football. Mike Hegman is still shaken.
I'll tell you, that's the thing to do. They're going to come. The Cowboys are going to come from the outside. Then they're going to come up the middle, and again, they're going to bring one more. They're going to bring Downs up the middle, too. You get the new quarterback, and you give him that 8-man rush. Watch it. There's Downs there from the right of the screen. Again, he's the guy that dives through, gets free up the middle. Then you get him from the backside and from the front side, and Scott Brunner had it every way you could get it.
He sure did. The ball fell out of the back of his hand, and the Cowboys get it. First and 10, Dallas from their own 24. White gives to Newsom. Newsom hammers for about 9. Leonard, Smith, and Lonnie Young have to make the stop.
Yeah, we were talking to Neil Lomax. He said against this blitz, the toughest thing is getting the laces right. And I think that's what happened to Scott Brunner. He was trying to get the ball in one position. He pumped it. By the time he brought it up again, it fell right out of his hands. Then he was hit after that, after he fumbled anyway.
And Neil Lomax over on the sideline, still a bit stunned by what happened to him. Newsom got 9. It's 2nd and 1. Newsom again. Trying for the first down. He's close. Nico Noga. Well, remember we talked about at the beginning of the game, when the Cowboys take it away more than they give it away, they win. Every time they won this year before today, that's been the equation. That's been the result. And it looks like it might hang through again. 2:07 left to play in the third quarter. Newsom comes out of the backfield, leaving Dorsett back there alone. And it's first and 10. Dorsett now has some room, and only he can do that. Wayne Smith. A gain of 19. That Cardinal defense shifted just before that play started, and Dorsett came away from the strength.
That was the interesting thing. Let's see if we can watch it. Here's the line. They're going to shift now. The Cowboys were going to run that way. Now they shift. They run into the shift. Now Dorsett stops and comes back away from the way that they shifted. Watch this. Their line up here. The Cowboys are going to run to the right. Now watch the Cardinal defense. Boom, they shift. Dorsett said, oh, we ran the wrong way. We ran into it. Well, let's run away from it and see what we got back there.
Now they run a reverse to Tony Hill, who's going to throw a pass to Cosbie, and he's wide open. He's got to wait for it. And they're inside the 5. Cedric Mack was back there. A gain of 42.
Cedric Mack, watch in the left corner there, Pat. He's going to come up to play the run. You see, he's coming up now. Cosbie runs right by him. Tony Hill sees him. You know, Tony Hill used to be a quarterback. By the time Cedric Mack could get back there, Cosby's down to the 4-yard line.
Tony Hill was indeed a quarterback at Stanford. First and goal from the 4 for Dallas. They give to Dorsett, who cuts back inside to the 2. Very nearly broke it. Leonard Smith on the stop. Nico Noga also gets an assist.
That was the thing with a short week, you know. You're not going to see a lot of those special plays because they don't have time to put them in and work on them. I think the Cowboys had to reverse, and then Tom Landry added that one thing. Well, let's have Tony Hill come in the reverse and throw the ball.
And Cosbie was 10 yards behind everybody. 52 seconds left, third quarter. They give to Dorsett. Touchdown. E.J. Jr. made the stop. The Cowboys move further in front. Cake is going to be good.
The smile on Drew Pearson, Coach Drew Pearson now there with Tony Dorsett.
Right. 6 plays, 75 yards they went. Septien's extra point is down in the tunnel. And good. Flag is down on that last extra point by Septien. Must be against St. Louis. Bob Frederick will tell us.
The point was good, and there was 12 men on the field for the defense, and that will be carried over to the kickoff.
12 men and a cup on the field.
Right.
Let's watch that touchdown again. Now, Fred Cornwell is the wing. He's right here. He's going to come in motion and block in here. Dorsett is going to come in, boom, and cut right off that block for the touchdown. Watch Cornwell coming across, leading right there on that second guy, and then Dorsett just ran right in. Ran right in behind him. He didn't need much of a block because the end penetrated too much.
Bert Peterson got an excellent block. He annihilated his man. Dorsett 17 rushes today for 70 yards. The biggest one of today was an improvisation.
Right, and if the Cowboys are going to win, he has to get 30 more, because isn't there a lot of statistics that every time he gains 100 yards, the Cowboys win?
Right. The Dallas scoring drive, it took 6 plays, went 75 yards, 2 minutes, 33 seconds, Dorsett's 3-yard run. But the big play was the reverse. And we'll look at that a minute after the kickoff by Septien. On the sack of Brunner, you might remember that Mike Hegman was down. He's gone into the locker room to have his right wrist x-rayed. And it's unknown right now if he will be able to return. So Jeff Rohr, one of the linebackers, and Mike Hegman, the other linebacker, both injured. Lomax has his helmet back on. Raphael Septien will kick off. Clyde Duncan back deep for St. Louis. Bouncing in the direction of Wolfley, and he takes it. Fumble! Ball is loose, and the Cardinals come up with it. Leonard Smith. Cowboys had a shot at it. Got away from all of them, and Smith came up with a recovery. That could have been disaster.
Well, 90% of the time a fumble is bad, but this is one that the Cardinals got about 5 yards of field position on it. Watch when he fumbles. Bill Bates hits him. That ball pops out about 5 or 6 yards. Raphael Septien started to do a little twister or turner there, and he let Leonard Smith take it away from him.
Lomax is back in the game and throws out wide to Wolfley. Quickly is Everson Walls. Brian Salonen is out there as well. He's taken Hegman's place. 27 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Dallas 35, St. Louis 17.
About
I know they want you to coach, but
president in Syracuse.
President of what?
I don't know. President of the Bubba Club. Brotherhood of United Bad Bodies Associated.
Bet you could handle Gorbachev. Here's Stump Mitchell on the draw play. Again, Walls comes up, takes a shot and misses. Brian Salonen and Eugene Lockhart stop him after a gain of 5.
Old Stump got that jersey twisted around a little behind there. You know how he got the name Stump? He was saying he used to hang out with his brother. His brother was about 5 or 6 inches taller, and he called him Stump before he even went to school. And that's all he was ever known as, Stump Mitchell.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Dallas Cowboys 35, St. Louis 17. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Ball League is sponsored by Toyota, who remind you to get more from life. Buckle up. Who could ask for anything more? Stroh's and Stroh Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by Sears, where you'll find great values. There's more for your life at Sears.
Summerall, John Madden. We're at Texas Stadium, and happy Thanksgiving one more time. Cowboys 35, Cardinals 17. The Lions beat the Jets earlier today, 31-20. Lomax will operate out of the spread on 3rd and 4. J.T. Smith has the first down. Dennis Thurman was the defender. Lomax hung in there and got a gain of 8 and a Cardinal first down.
It's going to be an interesting last 3 games for these Cowboys. You know, they get that 10 days off, and then they always get tough after that. Then they have to play Cincinnati, and then they end up with the 49ers and play the Giants in between.
That ought to be some battle down here.
And yesterday, that was the one they were talking about. They said, you think this is something? They said, wait till the Giants come in here. We'll show you some football.
Lomax back to throw on first down and has good protection. Now is chased and hit down by Randy White. You give that half of that credit to the Dallas secondary because Lomax did have time.
For the good coverage, and I think he was knocked down by the wind of Randy White. The wind of that right arm going over his head. Watch number 54, White. He just bangs into the guard on his side. Then he comes around. Now watch that right arm swing at that. He swung and missed the head. I think the air from the whoosh knocked him down.
That's the 3rd sack of the day by the Cowboy defense. They're up among the leaders. The Giants lead the league in that category, quarterback sacks. And the Cowboys and the Bears right up there close to him. Randy White standing up on the right side now. Lomax doesn't like what he sees. And the 30-second clock has expired, and they'll be called for a 5-yard penalty.
You know, with all the stuff that goes on in football today, it's amazing that they get the plays off with the coach calling down to another coach and signaling into the quarterback, and the quarterback calling the play and getting up there to the line of scrimmage.
Plus, you never really know when the clock is going to start, that 30-second clock. Some people start it more quickly than others. Second down, and Lomax looks at a blitz coming this time, and pressure from the Cowboys. He gets out of it, gets it out to the side to stump Mitchell, and he's hit by Victor Scott. Maybe back at the original line of scrimmage.
Okay, this Cowboy defense is fired up now. They can smell the win here, and they're flying after him. They're flying after him on the pass rush. That time Randy White was knocked right by Lomax. Lomax got the ball off, and all those secondary guys come running around here. Watch Pat Tilley on that play. He was out there open, but Lomax was back here in the left side. He can't see you over there. Tilley worked back to him.
And he was being chased. Tilley comes out wide to the left this time. Green is inside. They go with 4 wide receivers. This time Randy White's lined up right over the center. Lomax up into the pocket, chased and caught by Ed Jones with one hand. From behind, he never saw it.
That's what Tutall said. He said, I got all that family here. He said, I got to get out there and make a play. Watch Tutall. He's coming from here. We're going to get a little stunt in here between these two guys, and Tutall gets him back here with that right arm. Watch the inside. We'll see a twist in there in the middle. Tutall working out there, and the rookie, Lance Smith, just worked right by him, put the right arm, grabbed that jersey.
And Birdsong has to come in to punt. Back deep is Bill Bates. Bates handles it in his own 28. Nothing doing for Bates. The Cardinals down in good shape. E.J. Jr. leads them down. A punt of 39, a return of 2, so they net 37. 11:51 left to play. Dallas 35, St. Louis 17. It is a little brisk in the neighborhood. Here comes Mike Hagman back with Dr. Marvin Knight, who's been here and done so well almost as long as the franchise. The doctor is quite a man. Junior on the blitz, or faking one. To Cosbie. First down, Cowboy. Lonnie Young. Gain of 12. Excuse me, John.
Cosby's having a pretty big day today. You know, he says, look at that right elbow. He got some stuff hanging out there. Some stuff making. I wonder.
I think
that looked like that could be some pumpkin pie or something. He put his elbow in. That's the way I eat. I look like that after I eat.
How about blood?
Well, blood's good too, but you don't get a lot of that here in this place. But you know, he says usually I don't catch a lot of passes. He said if I catch 10 or 11 passes, it means we're behind, and that's the only reason we're throwing that much. But he's had a pretty good day today. Well,
sure
that's
has.
4. That's 400 yards or so and a touchdown, but it's an average day, he says.
Bob Harris, Cardinal linebacker, just limped off to the side. Total offense, things have changed a bit. Dallas 172, now up to 174 in the second. Cardinals had more yards in the first half, but they also had those 2 dreadful turnovers. First down, Cowboys, their own 41. That's Dorsett speeding in motion to the left. White gives to Newsom. Newsom for just a couple. David Galloway on the bottom of the pile. 10:55 left to play now, and the clock still running, and with a score 35-17, the Cardinals have to start being more than concerned, and so does Jim Hannafin. Word on Lomax. Lomax, although he has played the last couple of offensive series, is that he has a slight concussion. May or may not be back. We'll just have to watch and see. Dorsett is behind White. Danny looks to Tony Hill. Cedric Mack, the defender. What a good catch by Tony Hill, obviously, but what a good throw by Danny White.
You know, the thing that was interesting about that play, Pat, is that Danny White threw that ball before Tony Hill made the cut. Tony Hill is here. Danny White has already thrown the ball. The ball is already in the air while Tony Hill is still going up the field. That's what you get when you have a quarterback and a receiver who has been together as long as these two guys.
And Tony Hill has just limped off the field and been replaced by Carl Poe. That's Renfro in motion, and White gives to Dorsett. And there is absolutely nothing there as Nico Noga had it diagnosed perfectly.
You see, Nico Noga, when he got a hold of Tony Dorsett there, he was going to take him down. You know, he's from Samoa, born in Samoa, and he said that he has some monster in him. He said he gets that from his people. He said inside this body is a monster.
Really?
And he said the only place that I can take it out on people and get this energy I have in this body out is on a football field. That's what he says.
I believe. 9 minutes left to play. That was Newsom moving in motion. They're after White, who's trying to set up the screen pass and has it set up to Dorsett. And Dorsett skates to the other side. Had really no place to go. Got away from a couple of tacklers for a gain of 2. Jeff Griffin finally knocked him down. I don't think there's anybody around, John, who goes back against the grain better than Dorsett.
And on this run, it's only going to gain a few yards, but there's no one else in football, and not many guys that can make some of these moves he makes on this play, catching the ball and moving back against the grain at the same time, making this cut right here, stopping and going back. Then finally Jeff Griffin puts a hammer on him. I'll tell you, he made about 2 or 3 moves in there that maybe only Tony Dorsett could make. Only gained it. I don't think he gained anything.
Tony Hill is back in the game. White retreats to throw. Intended Newsom, incomplete. Bubba Baker knocked White down, and Danny is again slow getting up, but seems to be okay.
Well, I still think that's a problem with this turf, and I think it's one of the things with this football today. They let these guys hit, you know, after they throw. Now watch Bubba Baker coming from this side, number 60. Danny White throws the ball, is unprotected. Now he takes him, grabs him, and then when he drives him into the ground, you see the shock. See how that head snaps and the body shakes? That's a tough thing with football today.
He's the man who did it. Hurt him too, Al Baker. Saxon is back to punt. Just over 8 minutes left to play, and the Cowboys leading the Cardinals 35-17. J.T. Smith back deep for St. Louis. And they let the 30-second clock run down. And they'll back them up 5.
Now that was one that the Cowboys did purposely. What they decided is they were too far for a field goal, didn't want to go for it on 4th down. They were going to punt anyway, so they may as well run as much time off the clock, take a 5-yard penalty, and punt it.
We met, John and I did yesterday at the Dallas practice, Danny White's father. It's amazing how much they look alike.
They do. I mean, Danny White's father looked like he'd been in a few football games.
Well, he has been.
Yeah, he's been a tough guy.
A high kick by Saxon soars into the end zone. 45-yard punt. They'll bring it back to the 20. 7:53 left to play. And that's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow, Virginia against Maryland. Maryland headed for the Cherry Bowl. And then on Saturday, it'll be Notre Dame against Miami. College football continues here on CBS. Pro football also continues here on CBS as Neil Lomax is back at quarterback for the Cardinals, throwing for Roy Green and out of bounds after a Cardinal first down. A gain of 16. The Cardinals have been able to move it, and they give him a lot of room, don't they?
Well, they're still doing. You can see that as the game goes on, he's limping more and more. It's his left ankle. This is a tough one, this left cut. You see there? In fact, usually when you cut to your right, you plant your left foot. He used his footwork there that he could cut to his right off his right foot. And I think he's just coming off saying that's about as much as that ankle will take today, guys.
And it's been a year that's been full of one injury after another for one of the league's most exciting players, Roy Green. J.T. Smith has taken his place. Lomax looks in that direction. Now he looks to Stump Mitchell. Finds him, and he gets out to about the 39. Jesse Penn and Ron Fellows bring him down. Equipment man Jerry Fowler over on the Dallas bench, and now they're starting to shove a little bit out on the field.
You know, it all started with Doug Dawson and Randy White. They started after the play doing some exchanging. Then they just kept going, and then other guys started. Then some Cowboys came in, some Cardinals came in, and it just got bigger and bigger.
Let's see what did happen.
Well, you can see Randy White. You see him there, and Dawson. You see there, they had the face mask. Then they start, and then Sharp comes in, and then he starts pushing against Dutton. Randy White's there. He's staying calm now in the middle.
Now Lomax back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket for a minute. Gets it to Doug Marsh, and that'll be enough for another Cardinal. First down. Eugene Lockhart and Michael Downs there to converge. But they'll move the sticks. A gain of 10. Clock continues with 6:45 remaining, and now less than that. First and 10 Cardinals, but they need to put some points on the board in a hurry.
Well, I'll tell you, they need about one every 2 minutes. They need 3 scores. They got to start clapping these things in there.
Green back in the game, comes out wide to the left, with Chili out wide to the right. And Lomax drops into the pocket. As Roy Green, down he goes. Jesse Penn, the first Cowboy on the scene, but he was wide open.
That's one thing that the Cowboys still have that respect for Roy Green, giving him those cushion. The Cowboys have gone from the pressing defense now to the zone defense. They've gone to a soft defense. In other words, where you need 3 scores, you may get 1, but you're not going to get it easy or quickly.
Dallas 35, St. Louis 17. They give on a draw play to Stump Mitchell, who skips outside, knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field, about a yard shy of the first down. Roy Green got a good block.
Well, he got a block on Everson Walls, but Everson Walls was still able to get a hand on Stump Mitchell. Watch Roy Green there. See, he's going to come up right there on Walls. He blocks Walls, but Walls got that right hand, reached that right hand out, and tripped up Stump Mitchell. That was a pretty good play. It was a pretty good block. Then it was the guy goes down, and boom, he gets the right hand out.
And the clock continues to run. Now just 5 minutes remaining. Cardinals with its second down and 4. Lomax chased and down by Randy White. Ed Jones also right there. And so was John Dutton.
Looked like Randy White started to come up swinging on that play against John Dutton. Here's Randy White right here. You see him on the pass rush. I'll tell you, he's something. He's going to drive right into his guard. You see it, and then reach that left hand over, stumble, and get Lomax right there. Now watch here when Dutton hits him. He looks up and says, "Who is that?" He was going to say, "Oh, it's my own guy." Okay, that guy did that. They got a short day. You don't do that.
He's ready to hit John Dutton.
Yeah.
Third down, about 12. Lomax from the shotgun. And they're all over him again, but he gets rid of the ball to Green. Walls is there, and it'll be short of the first down by about 3.
Well, they're still coming on that blitz. I thought they were going to go on the zone. That time, Dexter Clinkscale baits up the middle. Again, the outside rush, still bringing the 8 guys on Lomax. He was able to get it out, but not the first down. Watch Clinkscale. He gets by his guy. Boom, Downs was a free guy. Clinkscale says, "Well, I'll hit him."
Randy Love tried to pick up the MDN, the most dangerous man, but there were two of them there. Now they're going for it on fourth down with four wide receivers. And Lomax in the pocket has it batted away and caught. The pass was deflected, and J.T. Smith came up with it.
That was a lot like that play on Monday night when Pat Tilley caught that tip play. It was to that same side, except Tilley ran all the way in the end zone. Well, he spiked it about a yard short of it, but he had the right idea. But it was the same type of thing against the Cowboys in the first game. Ball tipped early, second guy catcher, and here it's J.T. Smith right in front of Dexter Clinkscale and Bill Bates. On fourth down, Lomax says, okay, now we get some more downs.
First down, Cardinals. They're at about the Dallas 15, just outside. Lomax back to throw, throws to Tilley, incomplete. Everson Walls, the defender.
Well, on that time they brought Michael Downs on a blitz. It looks like he's getting tired of blitzing here. Here he is. He's going to come right up the middle here and jump, but the jump doesn't have the same thing in it that it did earlier. Watch him come, boom, 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 boom. Now watch this jump. He goes up, and he just kind of stayed on the ground. He jumped about like I do.
That was more of a lean.
Well, it's like a boom, just like that.
On second and 10. Lomax puts Tilley in motion. He sprints to the left and gets it quickly out to Mitchell, who's caught from behind by Jesse Penn. Penn taking the place of Jeff Rohr.
You know, they had Jesse Penn here rated as the top linebacker in the draft this past year. And they expect big things of him. I mean, you know, he's one of those guys that has all those athletic abilities. He can run, tackle, cover. In fact, earlier in the season, they were using him as a pass defender.
Right.
Looks like he's tired. Give him a little oxygen.
35-17 the score. The Cardinals quickly out of the huddle. Lomax looking for some place to go. Fires, has it batted away by Bates. Stump Mitchell, I believe, was the intended receiver, although Bates was right there.
Bates is starting to feel good now. He has a little blood on him in there. You see that? The shirt tail starting to come out. He's starting to show how he did it. Stump Mitchell was open. Bates got in there and knocked that ball down, and then he's showing Walls and those guys. See, he got a little blood in the jersey, the pants, little stuff hanging out there. Put that mouthpiece in.
Right.
Pull the deal down, ready to go again.
Got a little skinned on his elbow.
Yep. Another fourth down coming up here. Maybe they can get another tip point.
35-17, Dallas leading. We're in the fourth quarter. Lomax quickly outside to Randy Love, but he is cut down by Everson Wall. And the Cowboys will take over with just over 2 minutes remaining. Dallas 35, St. Louis 17. Pat Summerall, John Madden. We're at Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead the Cardinals 35-17 with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. Cardinals just tried on fourth down to get the first. They didn't. So Dallas has just taken over. Renfro split wide to the right. Fred Cornwell and Doug Cosbie both in the game, so they use two tight ends. They hand off to Dorsett. Timmy Newsome, I beg your pardon, and that'll be the 2-minute warning. Don't forget, this Sunday, the NFL Today sends her across to Washington for the critical San Francisco-Washington game. And it'll all begin at 12:30 with a comparison between Jim Brown and Walter Payton. And Jim Brown will be in the studio. After that, these are the early games. The Rams against New Orleans, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay against Green Bay. The NFL Today, by the way, begins at 12:30 Eastern Time, and then John Madden and I will be in Washington at RFK for that key match between the 49ers and the Redskins, both of whom still have playoff hopes, playoff wishes, and they are indeed very much in the picture. Dallas, with this win today, unless there's a St. Louis miracle, moves to 9-4. The Giants 8-4. Washington 7-5. Philadelphia 6-6. St. Louis will drop to 4-9. What do you think, John, about that Washington-San Francisco game?
I'll tell you, I think that the winner of that game is probably going to go to the playoffs, and the loser is probably not. So to both those teams, it's about as close to a playoff game as you can get. The other thing I think about that those Rams, even though they're 2 games ahead in their division, you know, that's the good news. The bad news is that the guys that are 2 games behind are the 49ers, last year's world champions, who are chasing them.
And they still have to play each other yet.
And the Rams have to play the Raiders after that.
Here's Danny White rolling out and looking downfield and finding Doug Cosbie for a Cowboy first down. Cedric Mack stopped him. Flag is down back at the line of scrimmage.
You know, that's one of the toughest plays in football to defend. There's a holding penalty against the Cardinals, but that bootleg where the backs go one way, the quarterback comes the other way, and the tight end comes across, that's really one of the toughest things you can show a defense.
Holding, number 60, the defense.
Well, we've seen it.
And the penalty will be declined. The result of the play, first down.
We've seen it, so successfully run by just about every team in the league over the last 3 years.
Well, you know, in the last couple of weeks, since Jim McMahon has been out and Steve Fuller's been the quarterback of the Bears, they've been making a living on that type of thing.
That's
you know,
right.
Send Walter Payton one way, Fuller coming the other way, and throwing the ball.
To either Reitman or Moorhead.
That's the thing, and that's the thing that, you know, they do so well. It's the thing that Danny White has done well over the years, that bootleg, the fake, and then come out and then work with his tight end, Doug Cosbie.
Cosbie has caught 5 passes today for 111 yards and 1 touchdown.
You see the guy was over there with the foot warmer was Mike Saxon, the punter. He had his
Right.
leg in front of that heater, trying to, that's how they warm it up. They stick the leg in front of the heater.
Dorsett moves back deep. Handoff is to Newsom. Newsom gets over the right side for about 5 before he's tackled by E.J. Jr. 35-17. Clock running with 1:35 left to play now. Both teams have all of their timeouts remaining. Is he smiling?
I think he's going to. I think if we almost caught him in a smile. Jim Schaffner smiled next to him. He was about ready. Now Schaffner's not smiling anymore. He won't. Raphael Septien is behind him. Kickers always stand close to the coach. He's not smiling either.
Here is Dorsett over the left side. He hammers out close to a first down. And the officials want to measure, so they'll stop the clock with 52 seconds remaining. The executive producer, Terry O'Neill, that's of the NFL here on CBS. The senior producer is Charles Milton III. Sandy Grossman, the director. Joan Vitrano, the associate producer. And the field technical manager is Artie Tin. By the way, well, we have just a second. There are some other people we'd like to recognize who've put in a long number of years with CBS. In addition to those people, Carl Prince and Johnny Pumo and Lou Scanna and Joe Tier, Artie Jensen, George Nader, and Harry Krim. 35 years they've been around this company. They are retiring. And while we have a chance, we'd just like to say thank you to them as well. And to all the rest of you people, have a happy Thanksgiving. That will wrap it up. And the Cowboys record improves to 14-3-1. Tom Landry waves over to Jim Hannafin. The Cowboys improve their record to 9-4. It's 4-9 for St. Louis. And we'll be back in just a minute.